God, I just got off the phone with my goddaughter right before I came here. She was really excited because she just got extra credit in her class for learning the alphabet backwards. That's impressive, right? And there is a teacher who's definitely gotten a DUI. That's her right there, as a matter of fact. We're proud of you. I'm trying not to drink right now. Actually, I'm trying not to drink, and I went out with a guy the other night, and he was really upset that I wasn't drinking. And I didn't get it until finally it dawned on me. I was like, oh my God, I will still make bad decisions. That'll still happen. Do you see what I'm doing with my life? I think crackheads make better decisions than I do. You're covered. I'm very lazy. I don't know if anyone's like me, but I just woke up from a nap earlier today to come here as well. Like it's funny to me that the things we hated as kids, we now love as adults. Right? Like naps and like seafood and spankings. So good. You know how you can tell you're lazy is when you get excited about plans falling through. It's like my friend canceled lunch with me today. I was like, oh, that's the best news I've ever heard in my life. I'm gonna nap twice. And I've always been like this too. My parents would give me a hard time. Like they'd try to motivate me actually. They'd be like, come on, a little hard work never killed anyone. Yeah, it did. That's why we have labor laws. I'm not taking any chances. I travel a lot. That's like my excuse for being lazy. I always say I'm jet lagged, which sometimes I am. Like I was in India for 2 weeks, which is an amazing place to go. Huge time change though. Like I don't know if you know how big it is, but when it's like 5 o'clock in Pasadena, in India, it's like 1981. I had like a side ponytail. All of a sudden, like the Breakfast Club was playing. Michael Jackson was alive and black. That was weird. No, that happened. I flew Air India. If you ever get the chance to do that, don't. It looks like every other airline, but it's not. Like you walk in and it's first class, and then right behind it is third world. It's so awkward at mealtime. Like they serve first class first, then third world has to come beg for their dinner. There's 40 people riding on the roof. It's not safe. I travel a lot, though, especially to third world countries, because I'm writing a book that's specifically for third world countries. It's called God's Just Not That Into You. It's amazing, though. One thing that's hard to do when you travel is get the news. You know, like I always use the internet to get the news. I was on Yahoo News getting news last time I was there. I was reading a story about a teacher who was having sex with one of her students, and then right next to it was an ad to become a teacher. And it's either the best product placement ever or someone's getting fired. I don't know which. I also saw that story. Did you guys see that story about all the birds that were dying in Arkansas? Like all the birds fell out of the sky and then fish started dying and everyone's really religious there. They said like it's the end, it's biblical. And wouldn't it be crazy if that were true, but it was just the end of Arkansas? You know, like Arkansas just vanished off the map and everyone's like, that wasn't that bad actually. That was pretty cool. I didn't mind that. Can you take Texas with you maybe? We don't need the Dakotas, do we? The news. It's funny, I have to go see my family now too, which is, that's always interesting. My family, I'm Russian and Irish. Everyone in my family is alcoholics. Everyone, that's why I'm trying not to drink. It's a nightmare, really. And I go to funerals because everyone dies at a really young age as a result. Like there's family funerals all the time. The last one I went to, it was so depressing. It was a cremation. It was like an all-day affair because I swear to God, the fire would not go out. It's not a good situation. Everyone's so nuts in my family too. Like my little brother, he's adorable. He's 16 years old. He's about 6'3", going through the most awkward stage of his life. He weighs like 110 pounds. I know that's sexy, right, ladies? The poor kid, like he's paler than I am on top of it. Like he was wearing a red tie the other day. He looked like a thermometer. And what he's into is like Star Trek and online gaming, and that doesn't help, you know? Like, and I give him a hard time, I make fun of him, and he defends himself. He was like, laugh it up, because I just went to a convention, and I got to see Lieutenant Uhura in person. I know, I was like, I will laugh it up, because you know what you'll never get to see in person? A vagina. Unless you pay for Uhura. It's the only chance. He's cute though. He just did a report on Ray Charles, actually. He was telling me about, he's listening to all this music and like reading about his life. He has an amazing life story, but did you guys know that Ray Charles was addicted to heroin? He was addicted to heroin. I never knew that. And apparently it was a big problem. Everyone was really trying to figure out how to get him off of it. And all I could think was, you know, you could probably like hide the heroin. You don't even have to hide it. Just like move it over and don't really say anything about it. You know, it doesn't take much, for real. But the thing is, his wife would try to do that. She would hide the drugs. He would get really mad and he would beat her up. Like, oh my God, you could dodge those punches. It is so easy. You keep your mouth shut and you duck. He's never gonna connect. Like, lay off the perfume on that day. You can strategize. I figured it out. It's such a terrible subject. Abusive relationships. Relationships are so hard anyway. I had a friend who was in an abusive relationship, and it was terrible. Her boyfriend would get mad at her, and he'd like hit her or push her around if she left dishes in the sink or she came home late. And she'd always ask my advice. She's like, what should I do? You should leave him, obviously, you know? She's like, but I love him. I don't want to. So now what should I do? Well, then probably the dishes. It's a suggestion. Or she could always try dating a Clippers player, because they are not beating anybody, you guys. They're not doing the job. Relationships are really hard, though, actually. I went on a date with a guy the other night who was in a band. And guys, ladies might be able to relate to this. When guys are in a band, they play guitar or whatever, they think it's a really good idea to like play guitar one-on-one to you. It is an awful idea, you guys. Let me just put it, it's the most awkward thing ever. You don't know where to look. Like, do you look at the guy or like at the guitar? Like, do you sway? Like, what? Do you hold up a lighter? Like, Freebird, just shout suggestions. Like, all I'm thinking is, when can this end? Like, I did not buy a ticket to your one-man concert. I'd like a refund. I feel like it's as if, like, if I went on a date and I brought him back to my apartment and started doing stand-up comedy one-on-one to him, like I bring him back and I'm like, hey, who's getting laid tonight? Not this guy, not this guy, huh? Where are you going? This date's not over.